Welcome to Work It Out Sweat Therapy with Emily, yours truly, and this is the series where we work it out and we talk it out. And today's episode is all about trust while we hip thrust. You heard me right. And that better caught your attention, so let's go. So first, before any hip thrusting is gonna happen, you have to be sure that you have open and mobile hips. So this warm-up today is focused all on hip openers. You can go to my Instagram page and there's lots of videos on hip mobility, like what I'm doing today. But also notice I'm moving through them. This is called a dynamic range of motion versus static, where we're just holding. Because it's a warm-up, we wanna keep it dynamic, keep it moving, and get that range of motion so that our glutes can properly activate, because you're gonna need them today in this workout. It is all about the glutes. While we talk about trust in yourself, having faith in yourself, and body awareness, and why those three things are related and essential and just so important in any form of a transformation. So it doesn't matter what your goal is, whether it's weight loss, weight gain, endurance, you wanna run a marathon, you wanna try a new sport, no matter what your goal is, these three things are super important, because at the end of the day, until you have learned yourself on every level, like met yourself at every level, it's really, really hard to expect change on different levels as well. So we're gonna talk all about it and how I've learned to stop doubting myself and trust myself, which is very important. Okay, so trust is definitely, okay, you know what, getting in this is hard. Trust is a topic, like this is gonna be a series, because this is just one part of trust, meaning trusting yourself and trusting the process in which you are learning yourself or transforming yourself, which go hand in hand. You ever notice how certain things outside yourself you don't question, you just go along with, but then when it comes to yourself and what you're working towards, again, using the example of what we do in here, transforming ourselves, you start questioning your capabilities, what you can achieve. Are my goals too big? Should I just settle? Is this possible? I'm gonna give you an example of something actually just happened yesterday, where I didn't doubt it. I didn't doubt it, and the outcome happened because I didn't doubt it. So I was driving to an appointment. I'm not even gonna lie to you, the song was good and I wasn't paying attention to the GPS and I missed my exit. But by missing the exit, never did I not trust the process. I knew, number one, GPS was gonna get me right back. I didn't know where I was, but it was gonna reroute me. But then what happened in that process of getting rerouted is I drove by a restaurant I used to love going to, but I forgot about. And so I had a moment like, oh my God, I would love to eat there after my appointment. I go to that restaurant, had my favorite order. It was so good. I was just like, you know, the moment where your soul's just so happy. I'm like, wow, this was a happy mistake. This was good. I never doubted the process, and look where it got me. While I was sitting there eating, I ran into someone I hadn't seen in years, ended up having a great conversation, and all the while I was living in that moment, trusting every little redirection or wrong turn, and never once was I like, that was it. That was the wrong thing. And look at the outcome. It would end up being like the most relaxing, fulfilling evening, because I never doubted in the moment. But then when it comes to myself, sometimes maybe I overthink, like, oh, should I have tried harder with this? Should I have worked more hours? Should I have gone harder in that workout? And I start questioning the things that I'm doing, because it is me against me in my own head, and really doubting myself in what I'm capable of. And the outcome of that is absolutely, where's that gonna get me? Where's that gonna get me but in a stress state and honestly working against myself? So I'm saying all that to say, when it comes to your transformation, if you are in a state of not trusting yourself, you're absolutely not in a state of learning yourself. Those two things can't happen. You ever hear the saying that you can't have faith and fear at the same time? This is the same type of thing. You cannot not trust yourself, so be in a state of doubting yourself, and then expect yourself to change and have this positive outcome. That is just magnet, polar opposite. We got negative against negative. They're gonna repel each other. All right, so before I get into the barbell hip thrust, I really just gotta get this off my chest. I I'm good at multitasking except when it's important. So listen up. When it comes to body awareness, when I say body awareness, that means that you are getting to know yourself. So it requires patience. And I get it. I know what you're thinking right now. You've been with yourself since birth, so you know yourself. But the issue is you only know yourself to the level you've allowed yourself to. There's so many other, you've heard the quote, so many other parts of yourself or levels or versions of yourself you haven't met yet. And if you are already in your mind like, no, I know me. Like, you ever meet someone and they're just so confidently, nothing wrong with me, or this is the way I am and I'm not gonna change? I promise you, if you have that mentality, your body's also not gonna change. So it's so important that you have patience with yourself. I'm getting fired up. I hear myself getting fired up, but it's because you need to have patience with yourself to know yourself. When you meet someone new, you have to be patient. It takes time to learn that person. You're not like 2 days into knowing someone being like, oh, that's it. Nope, time's up. I didn't get to know you in those 2 days and that's it. It takes time to know someone. So true body awareness is a combination of being willing to learn other pieces of yourself, listening to it, and being really patient on that journey, because it's not overnight. Now, this is the second most important thing I'm going to say in this episode today. You cannot not trust yourself, so therefore doubt yourself, not have faith in yourself, any of those variations of the same concept. You can't not trust yourself and also get to know yourself and be body aware. I'm gonna repeat it again. You can't not trust yourself and also be trying to get to know yourself on every level. Because at the same time of trying to learn, okay, I could do this. I can push myself harder on the treadmill. I can do this. If you have a voice that's also being like, you can't do it, you ain't shit, you're never gonna get to your goals. Then what voice do you think is honestly gonna win? You think you're gonna be patient, listening, trying to get to know yourself while there's still a voice being like, you can't do it? You've always been this way. You're not going to change. What voice is going to win? If you're in a relationship or even in some dynamic, you're in a room where there's someone who's loud and negative, but then there's this like quieter, really nice person. Which one do you think overpowers the room? Think about it. That voice, that room, it's right up here. So if you really want to change yourself, it doesn't have to be physical, because we know transformations in the gym, outside the gym, are more than just physical. Maybe you're changing here, you're changing your spirit, whatever you're changing. But whatever you're changing requires you to get to know yourself, body awareness, and trust yourself at the same time. They go hand in hand. And when I say you can apply this to like every facet of your life, I'm not playing with you. Okay, so you know that when I'm telling you guys any topics on this series, it's because I went through the personal journey. And I, again, am just talking from a POV of what I've learned in the hopes that it can help you. And one of the best examples where I truly learned firsthand the power of self-doubt and how it can completely paralyze you in any situation, but especially when it comes to your body and what we do in here. And in this case, it was when I was running cross country, and I was in college, and I already had so many self-doubts about my place on the team and if I was good enough. And those narratives kept getting, those voices, they kept getting louder and louder throughout the season. And I remember there was one race, boy, I doubted myself so hard. And right on the start line, I remember I'm looking, all the girls are lining up. I was nervous, nerves are normal, but then I literally was like, I ain't gonna finish this race. There ain't no way, I'm not good enough. Look at all these girls, they're fast. This course is hard, I ain't gonna finish the race. I'm not gonna do it, I'm gonna be a failure. When I tell you, it was like my body heard every single word, and the voice, because especially when you're running, you're with your thoughts. It's quiet, and you got just you in the trail or wherever you're running. And I was like maybe a kilometer into the race, and I was just like, no, that's it. Like, you can't do it. Why are you even attempting? Why are you trying this? And by about the 3rd kilometer, my body just stopped. Nothing was wrong with it, okay? I didn't roll my ankle. Nothing was wrong. I couldn't breathe. I thought to myself I couldn't breathe, and I couldn't finish, and I stopped. The only thing that stopped me that day, the only reason I failed in my head, was because I was convinced I was going to do it before I even started. And it came into physical manifestation. I literally stopped the race. I couldn't finish. And that was the day I learned how powerful your thoughts are in any regard, positive or negative. And in that case, my doubt won. It won me into not finishing. And I didn't need another lesson after that to really check my thoughts. Of course, I'm human. Are you kidding me? I have doubts. But every time I have a doubt, therapist taught me this. Every time in anything, not just in this arena, anytime I have a doubt, the second it pops in my head, I have to cancel it with a canceling thought, like the opposite. So the opposite of a doubt is I can. And I cancel it the second it enters. Because you know why? Doubts are completely made up in here. So that was my lesson on that. Okay, so we have now discussed the power that doubt can have, the negative power that doubt can have. So now let's talk about how to get to that level of trust where you do not doubt yourself and you're really trusting yourself, your abilities, your body, all of it. Now, what I want you to understand, because we're talking about true transformation here, your body is going to transform when you are putting it in its most optimal state. So it is not just how many reps you can do, okay? It is about giving it its most optimal environment. And what I need you to understand, and one of the best ways to get to a place, sorry, that's really got my heart rate up. Not me giving this is when you know I'm serious, all right? I'm not playing with y'all this episode. When it comes to trusting yourself, you really need to understand what the body is designed to do, okay? Our body is every day designed to keep you going, thriving, happy, healthy, and healing. Transformation is when your body is in its most optimal state. It's going to be its best physically, internally, when you are giving it the conditions to thrive. Our body literally heals every single day. You know, our cells have it programmed to heal. So rather than doubting yourself and wondering if it's possible and wondering what your body is doing, trust it. It is programmed to be its best self. You just have to put it in a place where it can be. So that is where the trust comes in. As long as you are doing everything you can for your body to thrive, for your mind, to your soul, every piece of you, then it's going to deliver, because that's what it's designed to do. The last analogy I'm going to leave you guys with today, because you know I always got to leave you with a good one, is about giving the right conditions for your body to thrive so that you can have that innate trust, because we are innately designed to trust ourselves, okay? We're not meant to doubt ourselves in any way. Is a plant analogy. If you know me, you know I got plant analogies for days, and it's because who do I spend most of my time with? It's okay, Janice, you can say it.
Oh, plants.
My plants. So, see, the thing is, I might have potentially given one of my plants, my Monstera plant, the wrong conditions to survive and thrive, but mainly survive. And it got a little too damp, and some call root rot happened, which just means in that pot it had the wrong conditions, okay? So it started dying. Real hard, real fast, real bad. And in that process of it leaving us, I snipped a leaf, okay? If you're a plant person, you understand. You try to get what's left, and you do something called propagate it. So I put this little leaf in the right conditions, in the right environment. So I put it in water, I gave it sun, and it started like crazy, giving me new roots, which then becomes a beautiful new plant with new life because I gave it the right conditions. Your body is no different. If you give it the wrong conditions, you are not setting it up for success. You really have to put it in its most optimal state. When you do that, there is no reason not to trust. I plopped that thing in the water and I trusted it because I know it's going to do what it's designed to do. I didn't doubt that leaf, okay? I knew it is programmed to not only survive but thrive and grow new leaves. And you are programmed just the same. So if this episode did not get you to stop doubting yourself, please rewind it back and watch it again, because I think I was loud and clear. It is time to stop doubting yourself. It is time to start trusting yourself and your body. It is designed to be its best self, and however your best self is what is going to appear in the mirror. That's going to be your ultimate goal, and that is what your ultimate goal should be. If this episode does not convince you to stop doubting yourself, then I want you to rewind it back and watch it again, because I think I was pretty loud and clear that the doubting yourself thing, it stops today. It stops now, because it's not productive, first of all. Number two, you're literally creating resistance against yourself. Why would you do that? Because if someone else gave you resistance, you would be really mad. And number three, it's not what you're designed to do. You're designed to learn yourself. What? We're gonna recap. Learn yourself, body awareness, trust yourself, have faith in yourself, and know that you're supposed to be in your most happy, healthy, and optimal state. And when you find that place, when you reside in that place, and when you stay there, is when you're gonna look in the mirror and be your happiest. The outside always matches the inside, so let your transformation journey be guided by everything I talked about today, and I promise you, you're gonna achieve every single goal.